Two trains collided in Zhejiang a few days ago, and passengers were trapped for 3 hours without ventilation. A male passenger broke a window to help others and himself. He was taken away and scolded by the police, but was regarded as a hero by other passengers. Should the window have been broken? This incident has sparked heated discussions on the Chinese internet in recent days, and the official report has been continuously questioned. On the evening of July 2nd, at Dongxiao Station in Jinhua City, Zhejiang Province, a freight train collided with the K-1373 passenger train passing by, causing the K-1473 train to be stranded at the station for more than 3 hours. The video circulated on the internet showed that because there was no air conditioning in the carriage and it was extremely hot, many passengers were sweating profusely, and their clothes were soaked with sweat. Many passengers had already experienced symptoms such as difficulty breathing and dizziness. One passenger said,
"I really can't stand so many people. I feel dizzy."
A young man in black, holding an emergency hammer for breaking windows, first communicated with the conductor, hoping to open the door for passengers to get off the train to get some fresh air. The man in black said to the conductor,
"Just let's get off, right? Otherwise, the glass will be broken."
As communication failed, the man took a hammer and smashed a window glass. The train attendant tried to stop him, but the man still hit the glass hard and finally knocked a hole in it. A passenger at the scene shouted, "Good! Good! Hero! Hero!" After the window glass was smashed, several train police arrived in the carriage, and some staff blocked the window to prevent passengers from getting off the train. An old man asked the train police to smash the window glass on the other side to allow air circulation, but received no response. In response to this accident, the Jinhua Train Management Section of Shanghai Railway reported on the evening of the 2nd that there were no casualties in the incident and expressed deep apologies for the impact of the accident on passengers' travel. Because the man who smashed the window was taken away by the police, it triggered a strong backlash from public opinion. The Railway Public Security Bureau responded on the 3rd that the man was not detained, but only criticized and educated. However, many netizens questioned whether the railway department should reward the young man instead of the so-called criticism and education. The situation is urgent, and the lives of hundreds of people would be in danger in such an airtight environment. On the 3rd, a passenger who witnessed the incident said that he was in the number 16 sleeper car, and the train stopped for more than 3 hours, and the train without air conditioning was very hot and stuffy. Adults can still bear it, but many children can't stand it. In the middle and late stages of the wait, a crew member brought ice water, ate treasure porridge, and paper to wipe sweat for the passengers. The passenger said that the final destination was changed to Changsha, and they did not receive any other disposal plans, but only got the ticket refunded without handling fees. In the end, he bought a ticket to return to his destination by himself. Another passenger said that he was in the number 4 carriage, and the window smashing occurred in the number 3 carriage. It happened about 2 hours after the stop. I had communicated with the crew twice before, and it was not until the 3rd time that it was smashed. The passenger said that the carriage had only one small window and was very stuffy. They hoped to open the door, but were not allowed to do so. There was no ventilation, and I, a young man, was short of oxygen. On July 3rd, Mr. Liu, a passenger on the train, told China National Radio, "It was so hot on the train that no one could stand it. Some people got heat stroke and were helped by the train staff." Mr. Liu recalled that the accident was a bit like sudden braking after a collision, and then the air conditioning on the train was turned off. According to reports from the Yangtze Evening News and Dahe Daily, a passenger interviewed by a reporter said, "I was trapped in the train for 3 hours. The air in the car was not circulating, the temperature kept rising, and I felt very suffocated." Many passengers told reporters that after the train stopped due to the accident, the air was completely stagnant, indicating that the train's emergency system failed or was not activated. Obviously, the train's emergency system is not perfect. A lawyer also said, "I personally think that the man's behavior is emergency avoidance, so he does not need to compensate for public property afterwards." Emergency avoidance refers to the act of taking actions that have to harm smaller interests to protect larger legal rights and interests when public interests, personal rights, and other rights such as life are threatened. China's economy is in freefall, engulfed in deep recession, mass unemployment, and a tidal wave of bankruptcies. Once bustling shopping centers now echo with silence, their storefronts abandoned. After the dramatic downfall of Carrefour, one of China's top 3 supermarket chains under Suning, other retail giants followed suit. RT Mart and the iconic Japanese department store Isetan, with a presence in Shanghai and Tianjin since 1997, have all announced their exits. Even Metro China's Hutai Road store has shut down. Most recently, Shanghai's luxury hypermarket City Shop, known for upscale goods and boutique imports, also closed its doors. Amid China's worsening economic crisis, supermarket chains are desperately slashing operations to stay alive. Some are shutting stores en masse in a last-ditch cut-off-the-arm-to-survive move, while others scramble to rebrand or shift to lower-tier cities in hopes of survival. In a desperate fire sale, Suning Group has transferred all equity of 4 bankrupt Carrefour subsidiaries for just 4 yuan. This symbolic handover signals Suning's battle with a liquidity crunch and the bitter reality of a collapsing retail empire struggling to adapt in today's brutal economic environment. Carrefour, under Suning, has been closing stores at breakneck speed. Plagued by barren shelves and gift card restrictions, it shuttered over 100 stores in just a few months, without opening a single new one. The Carrefour retail empire has effectively crumbled, marking the death of the hypermarket era in China. Now, Carrefour is a hot potato, dumped at a bargain price. Carrefour China Holdings NV, fully owned by Suning.com, signed a deal with Shanghai Yuan legal consulting company Limited to sell off 4 subsidiaries, located in Ningbo, Hangzhou, Zhejiang, and Shenyang, for a mere 1 yuan each. All 4 have ceased operations, carrying net debts of 1.76 billion yuan combined, and are officially listed as dishonest defaulters. The buyer, a partnership formed by Yuan and 2 local asset managers, specializes in corporate debt workouts. Suning stated the move would help ease its debt burden and could boost its net profit by around 572 million yuan. This fire sale and narrowing of focus reveals Suning's urgent retreat and strategic reset amid financial chaos. Suning's 4.8 billion yuan acquisition of Carrefour in 2019 has ended in near-total failure. The goal was to enhance its retail ecosystem via FMCG and offline stores, but reality hit hard. With plummeting consumption, cutthroat competition, and its own cash crisis, Carrefour China's store count plunged from 228 in 2020 to just 4 by the end of 2023. Some are half-shuttered or clearing out leftover stock. Suning even got into a legal battle with Carrefour's parent company over unpaid equity. In 2023, a Hong Kong tribunal ordered Suning to pay 1.134 billion yuan. Meanwhile, Suning.com was slapped with an ST warning due to 3 years of consecutive losses and remains at risk of delisting. Carrefour's collapse and Suning's strategic missteps have forced a retreat from side ventures and a return to core business, home appliances and 3C products. But the debt crisis hasn't gone away. In recent years, Suning has scrambled to sell assets. In 2024, it pulled in 56.79 billion yuan in revenue and posted a rare profit of 611 million yuan. But non-net profit was still negative. In Q1 2025, revenue rose 2.5% year-on-year, with net profit of just 17.96 million yuan, barely a glimmer of recovery. The Carrefour exit is a key part of Suning's slimming down strategy, aiming to consolidate around its core. Yet the entire retail sector faces headwinds, from shifting consumer behavior to the rise of online shopping. Analysts say Suning's misadventure into fast-moving consumer goods revealed a fatal mismatch between its business model and market reality.
In recent years, China's economy has continued to decline. Impacted by the real estate industry, the banking sector is now in crisis. Recently, several bank branches in China have faced difficulties with cash withdrawals, leading to dissatisfaction among depositors. Regarding the reduction of bank card transfer limits, many users believe that banks are deliberately making it harder for funds to flow out by setting such limits. According to a recent report by Shell Finance of the Beijing News, many bank card users reported that their bank card limits were restricted without their knowledge. Some people visited bank branches to increase their credit limits in order to use their bank cards normally, but some cardholders ultimately gave up using them altogether. Since the second half of this year, numerous banks have issued announcements stating they will adjust the non-counter transaction limits of some personal bank settlement accounts. These announcements mentioned financial institutions such as the Bank of China, China Construction Bank, Agricultural Bank of China, and Jiangxi Bank. Regarding the reduction of bank card transfer limits, many users believe this is a deliberate move by banks to prevent funds from flowing out by setting strict limits. However, bank personnel explained that the measure primarily aims to prevent telecommunications fraud. Despite this, all affected bank card users reported that their non-counter transfer limits were lowered without notification, and the bank did not send SMS notifications became a common complaint. One affected user, Li Yun, said she did not expect her salary card to be suddenly restricted. In July this year, she originally planned to withdraw reimbursement funds from the Bank of China, tens of thousands of yuan, but both the transfer and ATM withdrawal failed because the daily transfer limit was exceeded. Unexpectedly, another Jiangxi Bank Class 1 card under her name, primarily used for mortgage payments, was also restricted in July and August. Li Yun had used these two bank cards for many years without previously encountering any transfer or ATM withdrawal limits. However, both banks had now set a daily mobile transfer limit of 2,000 yuan on her cards without notifying her. Li Yun said, "The Bank of China staff initially told me to go to the branch with my ID to handle it. But when I arrived at the branch near my home, they said I needed to visit the branch where I opened the account." She couldn't complete the process that day because the branch was closed, and it took her a month to successfully increase her credit limit. According to a report by Shanghai radio and television station Cancan News on the 14th, recently, some bank card users reported that their personal bank card transfer limits were reduced without their knowledge. Some users said they could not even transfer 1,000 yuan. These customers believe that banks are limiting non-counter transactions to prevent funds from leaving. In January this year, Zhupai News reported that a woman in Pingdingshan City, Henan Province, said her sister had transferred money to her and asked her to withdraw 5,000 yuan for a New Year's red envelope, but she encountered issues while withdrawing the money at Zhongyuan Bank. Ms. Wang, the individual involved, said that the staff initially asked her to download an anti-fraud app, and she cooperatively answered all their questions. However, they began asking more personal questions, including where her sister worked and where she had worked previously, and even asked her to prove her sister was a biological relative. After calling the police, it took nearly 2 hours to complete the withdrawal. Similarly, according to Poster News, a woman in Jiangxi posted on social media that she went to a bank with 100,000 yuan in cash for a fixed deposit, but the bank staff unexpectedly asked about the origin of the money. The woman said she thought, "Why does it matter where my money comes from? Just follow my instructions." She felt it made her look like she had stolen the money. When she asked why they questioned her, they responded that it was bank policy. In response, some netizens commented, "The banking system really needs reform. The service attitude varies greatly. When depositing money, they treat you like a VIP, but when withdrawing, it's a different story."